the State Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan, His Excellency Fuji Sayuki, and also the Ambassador of Japan here in Kenya. I also want to recognize Abakar Hassan, who is the PS in charge of investment promotion, and Dr. Simoei, who is also the PS Foreign Affairs, Dr. Ruto, the President of the Chamber of Commerce, other senior officials, including our partners in the Kenya National Chambers of Industry and also KEPSA. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished business delegation, good morning. It is an honor to be here with you and to basically also address this summit. And in this particular summit, I also want to take cognizance of the remarkable journey of cordial relations between Japan and Kenya. Japan and Kenya have enjoyed very, very cordial relations in terms of bilateral relations, which sets in the potential for deeper economic engagements remains open and vast, and today marks a way forward for the two countries to realize their potential on matters trade and investment. This forum is also another opportunity for Kenyan and Japan companies to develop alliances, share experiences, and begin to see beyond the horizon in terms of the opportunities provided by the two countries. And as a government, we firmly believe that the future of both countries rests on our resolution to open new markets for trade, developing much more better inflows of investments, and making new opportunities available for our people. The Kenya government has been striving to open access to markets in Africa through the African Continental Free Trade Area, which provides a new market for investments and Kenyan products to 1.4 billion people across Africa. Through the tripartite free trade agreement, where we have been able to create a formidable alliance between COMESA and countries in North Africa, we have provided another new market, which basically has a new population of around 400 million people. And therefore, if you are an investor from Japan and you invest in Kenya, then your products can find markets across Africa. And I'm saying this because His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has been working passionately to profile and inspire the profile of our country, and therefore that alone makes Kenya a strategic investment destination. If you move over to the Western and Nyanza region, you have a good connection again to East Africa through Lake Victoria. And again in that region, you find opportunities also for investment. And as you move over to the Rift Valley region, it is home for tea and dairy and many other agricultural potential. And also in the energy sector, that is where you find your opportunity in geothermal. And therefore those who would wish to invest on energy matters, geothermal, and we want to thank already Japanese on the Olkaria project, which is already existing, but there are more opportunities, that can be found in that area. This is also a country with a big population of cattle and livestock, and therefore we are also profiling the entire textile and leather value chain, because we have a big herd of cattle that we slaughter every year, and we would wish to see inspiration of investments in textiles and also leather. Therefore, that presents you with a very good menu, of opportunities. If you look at the tourism sector, which is service but also a catalyst for other investments, Kenya has a very good combination, not just the diversity in our culture, but also is a country where you combine beach tourism and also together with our national parks. And therefore, we are not just looking at the seventh wonder in Masai Mara every August, but we are looking at the entire value chain in tourism, where you could also make further investments. A very conducive environment, to promote trade and investment. I also want, on behalf of the government of Kenya, to recognize and acknowledge that bilateral relations has been very beneficial because Japan has been our #1 partner in development cooperation. We have a lot of cooperation projects that are going on in the country, and it is because of the bilateral relations that we have enjoyed over the years. In this respect also, in matters trade relations, Kenya and Japan have been trading for a very long time, even though the balance of trade is in favor of Japan. And this forum is also a clear testimony that the two nations can work on making sure that we continue to have a favorable balance of trade for both countries. Kenya is a key exporter of agricultural products to Japan in terms of cut flowers, but also titanium ores, which have been exported to Japan, and I think the last figures were around $62.9 million US, as much as we also import vehicles and other ICT-related equipment valued at slightly above $263 million US. To increase the investments in this nation, so that you can access the region through Kenya. Kenya is a country of diversity opportunities. If, for example, you are in the coast region, you access the entire blue economy investment opportunity all the way from Lamu to Shimoni. In Lamu, we have the Lamu port. In Mombasa, you have the Mombasa port. And in the southern part of Kenya, you have Shimoni fish processing port. And in the middle, you also have other diversities in small port development, but also availability of the entire maritime and shipping sector, which I'm very sure Japan has a lot of experience in that regard, and therefore that presents an opportunity on matters maritime and shipping. If you go to the central part of our country, we are looking to inspiring agricultural value chains in horticulture and also in the area of coffee, which is also a key export for Kenya. I want to thank the Foreign Minister, Your Excellency, and your delegation for finding time, to accompany your delegation of business people. It means a lot. It means a lot in terms of your commitment to support the investments in our country, and we don't take it for granted. And that is why even at on our side, we have high-profile and senior officials who are also participating in this meeting. We will take advantage, of the Osaka Expo, which is happening between April and June. We've already committed as government to participate, to mobilize our stakeholders in the chamber, to exhibit, and also in June we have a week there for Kenya, which we are also inviting His Excellency the President to be the chief guest, and there's commitment at that level to ensure that we have that level of participation, and basically to mobilize many more investors from Japan through those two events. And going forward, I know both jurisdictions, the government of Kenya and Japan, will continue to work together, to ensure that we realize the opportunities presented for the benefit of the people of the two countries. With those many remarks, I want to thank all of you and to officially open this summit and to encourage a lot of alliance building, networking, experience sharing, finding of partnership opportunities, because at the end of the day, the government provides an enabling environment, but it is not doing the business. It is the private sector that knows how to maneuver within that environment, but I want us to know that we have a commitment to continuously make the business environment more enabling through favorable policies, favorable legislation, and favorable administrative decisions that unlock most of the challenges that you find. So if you find a challenge, please know that we have a government that listens and we'll be able to see how to resolve it. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Asante-san. Dear friends of Kenya, friends of Japan, good morning, distinguished guests. I'm Fujii Seki, State Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you participating in the forum today. I would also like to express my gratitude to the government of the Republic of Kenya and its collaboration with the Embassy of Japan to organize this event. As the head of the Joint Public-Private Mission from Japan, I'm grateful for this opportunity to make remarks in front of all the Kenyan participants at this forum. Africa is expected to be home of a quarter of the world population by 2050. With its young population and abundant resources, Africa is anticipated to continue to grow as a promising market, manufacturing base, and tasting ground for new business models. In particular, African markets have been steadily integrated through the African Continental Free Trade Area. Facing the huge market of Africa created by the regional integration, countries outside Africa are competing to seize opportunity in Africa. Given the rich economic potential of the African continent, the government of Japan has been encouraging Japanese companies considering investment in Africa, including Kenya, to expand their operations through various efforts. For example, as part of this effort, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs designated officials in charge of cross-border economic affairs in 7 missions in 6 countries, with a view to further strengthening multifaceted economic relations with Africa. Also, the Expo 2025 Osaka Kansai, Japan will be open under the theme Designing the Future Society for Our Lives in April this year. On behalf of the government of Japan, I wholeheartedly welcome Kenya's participation in the Expo. June 24th is designated as National Day of Kenya to celebrate the country's participation. It is our sincere hope that many visitors, including all participants here today, will come to Japan to make the Expo fruitful in collaboration with us. Furthermore, TICAD 9 will be held in August this year, with economy as one of the key themes. We are looking forward to lively discussions at TICAD 9 to co-create innovative solutions in cooperation with both Japanese and African governments and private sector. In addition to these, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been making various efforts, such as concluding investment-related agreements and dispatching joint public-private missions. I'm pleased to see, as a result of such efforts, that in recent years there has been a steady increase of interest in investing in Africa among Japanese companies. Amidst Africa's growing expectations for Japanese companies' new investment, we have chosen Kenya for our mission destination this year. Thank you. It shares fundamental values and principles, including the rule of law. It was also in Kenya that TICAD was held for the first time in Africa in 2016. Kenya was also the place where Japan launched the concept of free and open Indo-Pacific. The Japan-Kenya Summit meetings were held in Nairobi in May 2023 and in Tokyo in February last year. The bilateral democratic relations are closer than ever, even beyond the 16th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Supported by such excellent bilateral relations, Japanese companies are highly interested in doing business in Kenya. Indeed, Kenya was ranked as #1 among African countries in the survey of Japanese companies' interest for several years in a row. The number of Japanese-owned offices in Kenya has also increased by 48 over the past 5 years to reach 118.